Accelerators can either help you grow to become a $100 million plus company, or it can completely destroy your startup. Now, I took my own startup, Forecastr, through Techstars that has less than a 2% acceptance rate. Now we're one of the top financial modeling softwares in the entire world. Now, this is what you need to know to decide whether or not to take your startup through an accelerator. Did you know that startups that go through accelerators raise 50% to 170% more money than startups that don't? They are significantly more likely to stay alive or be acquired than their counterparts as well. Now, with a 90% failure rate in startups, you would expect that every founder would clamor to accelerators, maximizing their chances of success. But the truth is that most companies skip the accelerator path. Some estimates show that less than 1% of startups go through them, and in general, opinions on accelerators vary widely. Now, I personally mentored hundreds of companies that have struggled with this. Should they give up valuable equity in their company and go through an accelerator? Is the juice worth the squeeze, or is it all hype? And if you turn to the internet for this question, you're going to be flooded with message boards debating the topic ferociously, and you're probably going to end up being more confused than you were before you searched it to begin with. Indie hackers are going to tell you to save your equity and focus on getting to profitability, while Silicon Valley bros are going to tell you to go through YC and raise the highest valuation possible. So which one's right? Well, like most complicated questions, there's no simple answer. My company, Forecastr, went through Techstars, one of the most prestigious accelerators in the world. We decided to take the plunge in the early days before my company had any revenue or any funding. Now, because of my experience, I'm often asked whether or not it was worth it, which inspired this video. So today I'm going to talk about why you should join an accelerator. And at the end of the video, I'm going to share my #1 trick into getting into accelerators, if that's the path that you choose to go down. But before we get into any of that, please do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. As entrepreneurs, it's our jobs to grow, learn, and get better, and that's really what this channel is all about. And I'd love for you to join me. Let's jump in. First off, if you join an accelerator, you're going to get a ton of mentorship and guidance. The best accelerators are going to give you access to a pool of experienced mentors that are either industry experts or former successful founders, or both. These mentors can get to know you personally and offer specific guidance for your company. Now, these can be done in one-on-one sessions or scheduled ad hoc, or you can usually create some sort of an ongoing arrangement with your mentors, meeting with them regularly. If you opt for the latter, you're likely going to give your mentor some advisory shares into your company. And if you opt for the former, you can just get these for free as a part of the accelerator. Now, mentors can be a huge asset. Forecastr still has monthly meetings with our growth mentor, Nora, and we went through Techstars over 4 years ago. In fact, Nora helped us build our entire sales department. She interviews all of our potential growth hires. She talks to us about strategy, and she even reviews our sales calls routinely. She alone has had a massive influence on the success of Forecastr, so these relationships can keep paying dividends even years down the line. Now, let's talk about education. Accelerators will usually put together an educational curriculum to pump your brain full of knowledge to grow your company. And these can be wide-ranging, from fundraising workshops to cash flow management sessions and anything and everything in between. Now, the good thing about this education is that it's curated, meaning that a lot of really smart and successful people handpick the materials that they thought would be best for your company at this particular stage. This has the tendency to shine a light on the gaps in your startup knowledge, and it gives you the resources that you need to plug those gaps. Now, I love education. It's really, really important to me. In fact, it's the entire reason that I built this channel. Before joining Techstars, one of my blind spots was about branding. I had no idea how powerful branding could be and how deep it can go. Techstars saw this and connected me with a mentor, Leslie Curated. Through Leslie, I learned that our brand needed to connect with our customers on a very personal level. It needed to feed into the emotion of the buyer, and this is not an easy concept for a former spreadsheet jockey to grasp. This lesson was so powerful that we decided to make Leslie a mascot on the Forecastr landing page. So really, go to our website, check it out. The superhero standing in front of the mountain, that's Leslie. So I guess you could say that she had a pretty big impact on our brand. So next up is investment and investor connections. And this is where different accelerators are going to differ on their offerings. Some accelerators will outright invest in your company upon acceptance, and some won't. Techstars offered us $120,000 just because we were accepted into the program. And in fact, it offers everyone $120,000, and you get to choose whether to accept it or not. And usually, offering to invest is the sign of a good established accelerator. If they're investing, they are putting their money where their mouth is. Regardless of whether or not the accelerator itself invests, pretty much all accelerators are going to focus on connecting startups with investors. The vast majority of companies that go through accelerators are on the venture funding trail, meaning that they are planning to raise significant investor dollars while growing. Therefore, one of the biggest value adds that an accelerator can bring is connecting startups with investors. They can do this by making individual, personalized connections to existing investors, which is the one-on-one approach, or they can do a one-to-many approach using demo days where you pitch your startup to a room full of investors, and the investors connect only with the startups that they really like. But another one-to-many approach comes from hosting networking events, which is the fourth benefit of accelerators. While you're in program, most accelerators are going to host mini get-togethers that get you exposed to the right people. And after the program ends, they usually continue to host alumni events that can allow you to continue to build your network. FounderCon, for example, is the annual conference put on by Techstars, and it gets thousands of founders together every year. Now, I personally made hundreds of high-value connections at events like this, and one new relationship can have the power to transform your business. I'll give you a really quick example of this. The last time that I was in San Francisco for FounderCon, I got connected with a massive VC that needed help with finances for their entire portfolio, which consisted of hundreds and hundreds of companies. Now, I met with the managing director in person, we really hit it off, and we had 3 more meetings after that. And as of this recording, we're exploring how Forecastr can work with its hundreds of companies to deliver financial services. This would mean real significant revenue to our business, and it would not have been possible without Techstars. So these are the main benefits of accelerators. So now I want to get into my number 1 trick for getting into accelerators, and it's very simple. You want to build a relationship with the MDs and the program directors well in advance of applying. So find reasons to meet with them, ask for mentorship and guidance on your business, and shy away from questions about the accelerator. You don't want them to just think that you're milking them for information on how to get in. Get them on your company update list and share your journey with them. This shows that you're coachable and that you're ambitious. Once you have a relationship with them, ask them whether or not they think that you should apply before you do. This is going to give them emotional buy-in, and it's going to make them consider you that much more whenever they compare you to others. If they recommended that you apply, they're probably going to take a really hard look at your application whenever it actually does come through. So there you have it. That's everything good about accelerators. But what about the dark side of accelerators? What are the costs, and why shouldn't you join one? Well, stay tuned, because we're going to be shooting a video on that very topic next week. And if you found this useful, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell. Education is the best way to stay informed and ahead of the competition. And of course, if you want to learn more and continue to grow as an entrepreneur, be sure to check out my other videos. We put out helpful content every single week. Until then, keep building. We'll talk soon.